Have we started?
I think we can just wait for some more time. Wait
Yeah,
for some more attendees. Yeah.
till that time, I'll just share my screen. And yeah, I think this is the one. Better? Yeah,
Perfect.
okay.
I think,
We can start?
yeah.
Yeah, all right. Uh, Good morning to all parents, educators, students who have joined us today for this session on understanding what giftedness is and why we are here, the reasons, the high potential children who maybe just have joined us today. And I'll start with introducing myself. My name is Saika Sultan. I manage the giftedness and talent search platform at Educational Initiatives. And joining me today for the session is Sornali Chakraborty. She is the head of marketing at Educational Initiatives. And I want to start with congratulating everyone here who have joined us today. I just want to say heartiest congratulations to all of you. Um, the reason why you have joined this webinar is because our children have done exceptionally well in the EI asset test. And by performing and by scoring in the top 15% percentile of acid test, which shows high potential amongst our students, they have been invited to take the invite only acid talent search test. And this moment deserves to be acknowledged and deserves to be celebrated, and it's no mean feat. It deserves to be celebrated because EI acid test in itself is a diagnostic test that checks logical reasoning of the students, reasoning abilities. It checks whether students can dive into a particular concept and find their way through it, apply their learnings in the scenarios that have been given to them in these questions and find the correct answer. That critical thinking is what is checked by EI acid test. And students who are performing at the top of the classes nationally it's something that has to be acknowledged and celebrated, and which is why they have been invited to the EI Asset Talent Search Test. So it is about uh, supporting our children thoughtfully. It's about being uh, standing with them every step of the way responsibly and trying to understand how we can nurture this potential that they are showing, this spark that they are showing, through their results, through their achievement in these tests. And giftedness, it stems both from nature and nurture. It's just not about just nurturing giftedness or just about the nature having the high potential of performing well in tests. It's a combination of both that actually is what giftedness and high potential is all about. So I'll take you through the this particular slide where it clarifies what EI acid test is and what EI acid talent search or ATS test is and what are the next steps for you. So right now the child has written an acid test and the child has scored in the top 15 percentile, that is in one of the three subjects, that is English, Math, and Science. they have scored 85 percentile and higher. And once they do that, once they score 85 percentile or higher in one of the three subjects, they qualify for EI-ATS test. Now, they are already EI-ATS scholars. They have shown high potential, and they are invited to take the EI-ATS test. Once they take the EI-ATS test, once they take the EI-ATS test, they become, and if they score in the top 15%, then they become the EI-ATS scholars, and we invite them to these gifted. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's visible to you on the screen, but they are invited to attend gifted workshops. The workshops curated by experts in their fields and mentored, and where children are mentored by the best in the USA and in India. And right now, where you are at step 2. The child has scored in the top 15% of ATS, of acid test, and now they have been invited to take the EI Acid Talent Search test. And to understand giftedness, I just have give you a glimpse of what giftedness is and what is the next step. That is when your child is going to take the ATS test. But to know more about what giftedness is, I would like pose this question to Swarnali, and who will help us understand what giftedness is and what it looks like in the world. So Swarnali, over to you.
Thank you so much, Saika. So first of all, thank you everyone who's joined us today on a Saturday. Like Saika said, I'll just like to repeat, congratulations to all of you. Your children have obviously done really well in ASSET, and that's why you're here to know more about what they can do and how you can identify their full academic potential. And this is why I think to understand giftedness, it becomes very important to understand what giftedness is. Because over the past few weeks, we have been sharing letters with you. You have been seeing our social media handle. We're talking a lot about what is giftedness and how EI Acid Talent Search is the natural next step for a gifted student, right? So I think I'll just like to take some time to walk you through about what giftedness is, and maybe you'll be able to relate some of what we say with what you see at home with your child. And so I'll just take it forward. So what is giftedness? Before I elaborate on what is giftedness and how we identify giftedness, I'd like to show you a video. Basically, the video talks about the journey of Arav, who is gifted. And while you see the video, if you see similarities between what Arav is thinking and between how your child is at home and how they kind of think outside the box, ask a lot of questions, then we definitely think that your child has a huge potential for giftedness. Saika, if we could just go on to the next slide.
Is the sound?
No.
Can you hear it?
No, you'll just have to.
All right, just a second. I think I will just take a moment to just 2 minutes.
In the meantime, parents, we would like you to direct all your questions to the Q&A section, and we will be taking those questions live. So any question you have regarding anything, whether it is about your asset plan, whether it is about the exam dates, whether it is about any other questions regarding giftedness, please write it in the Q&A section and we will answer them live.
Let's see if the sound is...
Meet Arav, a young dreamer with a mind full of questions and a heart set on answers. His notebook isn't just filled with ideas, it's brimming with possibilities. But like many gifted minds, Arav faces a similar challenge: the lack of opportunity. Imagine what he could do if his potential was nurtured. At EI, we believe giftedness deserves to be celebrated. Through EI Acid Talent Search, we're building a gateway to a world where talent is not just recognized, it's nurtured and empowered. Every person who changed the world around us started with a dream. Terence Tao, Lady Gaga, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, they were all once just like Arav, full of potential. But what set them apart? Talent, yes. But more importantly, the right opportunities at the right time. Through EI Asset Talent Search, we open doors for gifted minds like ours, connecting them to transformative opportunities with our global partners who are pioneers in gifted education. These summer programs are life-changing experiences that foster creativity, collaboration, and innovation, preparing students to lead on the global stage. For students like Arav, EI Asset Talent Search is not just a test. It's a jump start to a transformative journey. A journey that connects gifted minds to a global community of innovators, dreamers, and leaders. Together, we're building a movement where talent is nurtured, potential is unlocked, and gifted students are empowered to achieve the extraordinary. Take the first step towards success. Register for EI Asset Talent Search. EI Asset Talent Search, a home for gifted minds, a gateway to global excellence.
Thank you so much. We can just move on to the next slide, please.
Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, yes. Okay. So before we talk about ATS, I just want to spend some time talking about how giftedness was historically identified and why we changed that approach. Because I would want parents to, because you might think that how is it relevant to me as a parent, right? So basically, I want to tell you about the signs that you need to watch out for and how ATS kind of is a test that takes into account all the other capabilities of gifted students. So previously, IQ was the standard measure for academic giftedness, but IQ tests are don't take into account the emotional quotient of children. They don't take into account the creativity of children. They don't take into account the ability to think outside the box, find innovative solutions to mundane problems, right? So IQ is basically just very much related to academics only, and just it's a boxed approach to identifying giftedness. So while previously we used IQ to measure giftedness, there is a lot of literature and a lot of research online that kind of tells you that IQ is not the right measure of giftedness. It talks about, we can just move to the next slide, Saika. So it talks about, so the best way to identify giftedness then becomes a test that is not focused on, right. Right. Yeah, so the way to identify giftedness then becomes focused on looking at the middle school years, that is from grades 4 to 8. This is the crucial time for students who are, who show uh, kind of a potential to do really well in, in academics, a basically a task commitment where they are kind of focusing on on something that they are doing and not leaving it midway, seeing it through to the end, focusing on the subjects that all students learn, so basically core subjects of English, math, and science, and also a high quality test that tests thinking and understanding and not just memorizing concepts, right? The other very interesting aspect of a test that identifies giftedness is a test that tests two grades above the student's current level. And as I move forward, I will explain a little more about this in my upcoming slides. And also, the other aspect of identifying giftedness is taking top performers at the subject level and not the average score of across subjects, right? So which is why we actually get a lot of queries from parents saying that my child has scored 95 in English but not in the other two subjects. Have they qualified for ATS? Yes, they have, because we are looking at domain specific giftedness. It's not the overall performance across subjects. It's at the core subjects of English, math, science that is common for all students. Yeah. So like I said, the narrow window of opportunity is basically from grades 4 to 8. Because if it's, let's say, if it is a child in grade 3, then it becomes too young for us to kind of identify that child's level of giftedness, because they are just entering education, they're just starting their journey in academics, right? And their cognitive abilities, their full cognitive abilities is still developing, and it's too early to identify their potential. And after you cross grade 8, then it becomes too late, because you have already lost that potential that you may have, uh, in any subject, basically a gifted potential for any subject, right? Because see, the gifted students need to be constantly challenged, because they are always thinking creatively, they're always asking questions, more questions than regular children. They're asking the why and how of pretty much everything they're reading. So if you don't challenge them within this grade of 4 to 8, then they just kind of get bored with the standard academics that everybody in the class learns. And then they kind of just lose that ability to ask questions, because their questions are not met with that kind of answers that they are looking for. They are not challenged at regular intervals, so they then kind of just give up, I would like to say. So it's very, very important to identify gifted students within the grades of 4 to 8. Yeah. So, like I mentioned earlier, that ATS and general, best global practices follow this pattern of identifying giftedness by using a test that challenges, that asks questions 2 grades above their current level. So if you look at this, I mean, we have been conducting this test over the last 14 years, and based on all that data that we have seen, you can see the blue bar is basically the students of standard 9, and this is in that, so the questions they are being asked are of their current grade, and the maroon lines are basically the students of class 7 who are being asked questions of class 9. So if you follow this graph, you'll see that consistently across English, math, and science, gifted students of class 7 have performed better than regular students of class 9 in a class 9 level question, right? And this is research based on our tests. So that kind of, Saka, we can move on to the next slide. And that kind of again reinforces what we are trying to say, that giftedness is not just uh, being very sincere in your studies, spending a lot of time studying, memorizing concepts. It's not that. Giftedness is basically the innate ability to, the innate hunger for knowledge, wanting to know more, asking a lot of questions, spending a lot of time just because they are so curious to know more than what is in the textbook, right? And that we have been able to bucket into 3 basic abilities of gifted children. One is the above average ability. This means the ability to grasp concepts very quickly, the ability to kind of take an academic concept and apply it to real life context that they are seeing around, the ability to draw parallels from their real life, right? The second ability is task commitment. Like when you start something, just because, let's say, you're starting a math problem, and just because you're not able to arrive at the answer, you lose your patience and you just decide to move on to another topic. That's not what gifted students do. They will stick to it. They will ask questions to their teachers, to their parents. They will try to find out as much information as they can and solve that problem, right? And of course, the last point is creativity. Like I mentioned earlier, like creativity is basically the ability to think outside the box, to find innovative solutions to the problems that they face with regards to academics, right? Yeah, we can move on to the next slide. So all of this now may sound slightly aspirational. I mean, previously in our video, we gave examples of Larry Page, Sergey Brin, and I think Tim Cook, Sundar Pichai. All of these names are aspirational. But I want to kind of draw parallel to examples that are closer to home. So this is the story of Adit Palicha, who was an asset student at GEMS Modern Academy. So he was an asset topper. He showed potential for giftedness, and now he has become the co-owner of Zepto, which is a leading brand in India, right? Next slide, please, Sarka. All right. And another example is Shiven Vikas Toshnewal. So he was also an asset student. He was identified as a high potential gifted student. Then he took the EI ATS. He was the bronze scholar and he topped EI ATS. And then he became the All India topper at GMain, right? And you can see where he is. The first picture is a newspaper clipping of him. The second image is him being felicitated by somebody from the asset team. And the third is, of course, with him and his family. He attended the gifted summer workshop. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, while it may sound a little daunting that you're being asked questions that are two levels above your current grade, some very big names of gifted people around the world, but this is what the life of a bronze scholar and gifted a bronze gifted scholar looks like, basically. And bronze scholar for ATS essentially means you're scoring in the 75 percentile, 75 and above, right? But bronze is 75. So that means that you don't have to be get 100 in ATS. It's not a far-fetched dream, because the ATS test is already designed to be a very high quality test. Even if you're getting 75 percentile and above, you are already in that bracket of of becoming academically successful. So then it becomes really, really important for the children to know that they are gifted, for parents to know that their children are gifted, because that is the first step. I mean, we already have quite a few questions. I think
Yeah, we take some questions.
yeah, I'll just check. Okay, so these are mostly logistical questions. We will address all the questions towards the end of the session. Yeah, Saika, over to you now.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Swarnali. Um, Understanding the research and the science behind giftedness and high potential, I think one of the things that I wanted to add here is just to add to what Sonali has been talking about, and to the parents here and to the educators here in this webinar with us, is that if you have a child at home or in class who asks a lot of questions, who who is always asking why, that curiosity is a spark. It's an identifier that tells us, and it should give us that inkling that, okay, this child wants to know. And sometimes giftedness and high potential, and it's a raw ability. It's having it's a raw quality, a raw ability, and capacity. It's a hunger that can be nurtured, and that can be, first of all, it has to be identified at the right time. And these children, the children that I'm going to show you, some testimonials I'm going to show you, I'll take it forward. These are the children who exhibited the same spark, the same questions they asked, just the why of it. Why do things happen? Why does the sky look blue? Why do cockroaches flip over when they die? These this spark of curiosity, the scientific thinking that they have, the inquiry of, the science behind things, that is what a giftedness, that is what potential looks like. And this is what is checked by, this is what is assessed by the EI asset test. And once children score really well in EI asset test, that's when we invite them to take the EI ATS test, which is, as Sonali has said, which is a 2 grades above test. I'm going to talk about that, but right now let's just go through some testimonials of children who have taken the ATS test. They are ATS toppers, and they have been to the nurturing programs as well. So what I like about what Shivani is saying here is that opportunity to challenge myself. And that's what these tests do. They give the right challenge to these children. It helps them stretch their minds, helps them look at the possibilities of a particular query and a question and the challenge that has been given to them. And then, though all those questions and that ability and that need to ask more and more questions, that gets engaged. Why is this happening? And I love that she has used the term thought-provoking questions. Thought-provoking shows that spark of scientific inquiry. Another is a testimonial is from Vedika. Again, English topper, national English topper from Sharjah, and she's talking about that at least I can find out what is the global benchmark is. Where do I stand? And she's talking about peers, and that is another aspect of gifted children. Gifted children, and this is a term that it's not like EI educational initiatives is using. It is used worldwide. This is a term that is used by educators, by scientists, by people working in giftedness. They use that term, and it's not something. It's not a word that is thrown around. So gifted children, they require nurturing, and when they are kept in a cohort of like-minded children, children who think like them, who ask like them, they will always think outside the box. Their problem solving skills are top notch, and they are the ones who in the future will come up with solutions that we are struggling with right now. These children, once they find their tribe, and I will use that term here, once they find their tribe, the children who think like them, they blossom. They find people, they find like-minded children who think like them, who ask like them, and they then enjoy this journey of nurturing that these gifted programs and platforms they offer. That EI opens the doors to. Another one is Tejas, and now Tejas, ATS topper. Now he says that I was surprised. That means that curiosity took him to give the test. He wasn't really looking for marks. I love the fact that he said, I was surprised. And there was a happy feeling inside when I got the result. And he worked for it. He worked hard for it, because these are, after all, above level tests. And these are no preparation tests. So before I go into the kind of test that is given to the children, we are going to look at one testimonial given by one of the students.
I have been taking the ACID test since grade 4. You should take this test because you can find out.
Just some technical. Are you able to hear the sound?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Maria. I'm sorry because there was some technical issue from my end. This is Mariah and Matthew. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. She's from GEM School, Dubai, and this is she. ATS topper. Came for the one of the nurturing programs from GenWise, one of our India partners, and this is her testimonial. Let's just take a look.
I have been taking the ACID test since grade 4. You should take this test because you can find out so much about yourself. I learned to be careful in each question and just to look at it thoroughly. Through ATS, I have been looking things more closely, like observationally, and I could improve in lots of fields. Just through ATS, the amount of opportunities I could get, like the Johns Hopkins University, I was like really amazed because I heard that university a lot. The first day onwards, everyone knows everyone, it's so energetic. And the teachers, they are amazing. They teach you about interesting topics that you normally don't ever learn in class. I used to be very shy. Being in GenWise, being part of your friends as a whole, as a family, it made me come out more often. So the thing I like most about GenWise is on the last day, everybody does not want to go home.
Right. So she talks about that children at the end of, she's talking about one of the programs that is offered by one of our global partners, as one of our nurturing partners. And she says that we don't want to go back home because that's the sense of community and the psychosocial skills that we talk about is part of nurturing of gifted children and finding a community of like-minded learners. And that's actually beautiful to see that she was not very comfortable going up on stage or performing, but now having met such friends that she can be comfortable with, that she can talk her thoughts out with, she was able to she was able to do well. Not only do well, she was able to make friends for life, and she was able to perform on stage. So that is an amazing achievement. And one of the she was talking about one of the programs that are offered through the ATS test that students can take, and that is by GenWise. But we this is like what happens after taking the EI ATS test, and that's what Mariah was talking about. That for a small group of students, um, we offer our global partners offer gifted programs. Now, these are not to be taken as coaching classes, but they are not about exams, or they are not about syllabus, but they are more. It's more about children spending time with their mentors, children working on projects that are challenging, that have been, as I said, that are curated by experts in their fields. And these are some of the global partners and partners from India who work with us and who take in these gifted children once they register for their programs, and then they offer various programs to them, right, in the fields of, as it's written, if you look at Jerry Purdue, in the field of advanced STEM, humanities classes, AI, neuroscience, economics, advanced economics. So this is not just computational thinking, the upcoming buzzword nowadays, AI and digital thinking. So all these are enrichment programs that is not just about STEM or just about math or science. It's about the interest of a child in the field of their choice. That's it. Doorway to these programs is the ATS test. And again, unique opportunity to participate in advanced level programs. So some of the programs and courses offered by our nurturing partners. Some of the topics are there on the screen. As I said, economics, actually public policy, is quite popular among students from classes 7 to 8. They show a lot of interest in that. Game design, modules in economics, cognitive psychology also is something that students show a lot of interest in. Coding, and of course, again, the one field that everybody is talking about right now, it's again another buzzword nowadays in the world, and that is AI, generative AI, and ChatGPT. So these are the kind of topics that students are exposed to. Another program that I would like to take the parents here through is the GenWise's Talent Nurturing Program 365. Now, by 365, it's like a year-round program for gifted learners. I'll just take you through some information is there on the screen. These are created for our geared at children from in grades 7 and 8. So once you give the EI ATS test and you score in the top 15%, what happens? You are invited to register for these tests, these courses. Now they are year-round. As you see, 30 weeks. Online classes are on Fridays. Very flexible to students' school schedules. You have science and as well as math. You can take a combination of both. And these are short courses. You also have elective short courses on generative AI, neurosciences, etc. And you can join at start of any module. So this is one such program. Now, why I wanted to take you through this particular program was because usually the gifted programs are for like 2 to 3 weeks, residential programs, that is. So in-person residential programs are for during the summer vacation. The duration of these programs by either Johns Hopkins or by Jerry Purdue or by UC Berkeley or by GenWise, these are usually 2 to 3 weeks in-person programs where the child has to go to the center and have an immersive experience Apart from that, you have online programs available as well for the year round. So if you, for certain reasons, are unable, whether it's not in your budget and you want more budget friendly options, or options that are more inclined, or that you can adapt to your plans for the year, you also have online nurturing programs. And not only from GenWise, you also have from the global partner universities. So these are online programs you can, and giftedness, when we talk about ATS test, uh, if we talk about just the test and not about the second step that comes after it, our message becomes half-baked, and our message becomes, it's not the complete message. The complete picture of giftedness is identification and nurturing. The nurturing part is what we are talking about. The identification part, Sonali talked about, spoke about what is giftedness and how it is identified. Now I'm taking you through how it is nurtured. So one of this is this TNP 365. Another is, this is, I would really encourage you all to sign up for the Gifted World online community. This is just, it's for free. Sign up if you have, if you are a, if you're a qualifier, if you are a ATS qualifier, that means you have received the invitation from us by via WhatsApp or an email that you are an ATS qualifier. Please go ahead and online and join this gifted community. It's for free for both parents and for students. Monthly, you will have, children will have master classes. It can, and usually these are career exploration and mentoring master classes once in a month. And experts are going to talk about various fields that students will be exposed to post class 12. So that is for the students, and for parents, a lot of handholding. That is something that I have often come across, and that is questions by parents saying a very simple, basic thing. How do I engage my child more? How do I work with my child? My child asks a lot of questions. One often repeated term or sentence my child says and keeps saying is, I am bored. I am so bored. That word bored comes up a lot in houses with gifted children. And so this is kind of a monthly parent hour where there is also a newsletter on Sunday mornings. Just log in online. You will have, again, by experts in their fields, you will have guidance and support for children of gifted, for parents of gifted children. So please go ahead. This is actually, we'll share the links in the chat box, but you just have to go to giftedworld.org and you can register yourself. So my I will really encourage the parents here and educators here to take it up, this opportunity. Now we're talking about EI. I'll come back to just giving you take you through what the EI ATS test overall, how it looks like. I'll take you through logistics as well. So ATS test is a 2-grade above test. Please be, this is where I'm going to explain to you what this test looks like. If my name is Saika Sultan, if, for example, Saika is in class 4 and I have scored 85 percentile and higher in any of the 3 subjects, that is either English, math, or science, or a combination of these subjects, my parents will receive an invitation letter from EI or from your school that you have qualified for the ATS test. What does that look like for Saika? What it looks like for Saika is that Saika is going to, once I register for the ATS test, I am going to take a higher level test. By higher level test, we mean is it's going to be a test of class 6 for a class 4 student. The class 4 student will take a class 6 test of your choice. That is either English, math, or science, or again, a combination of 3. Our suggestion is always to get a 360 view of your child giftedness and high potential. Please take the test for all 3 subjects. These are foundational subjects, English, math, and science. Now, Saika will give the class 6 test. Now, obviously this will give that, that once we say high level and 2 grade above test, the logical progression is, uh, how can my child take a class 6 test when they have just studied class 4? Valid question, valid point. So when we say 2 grades above test, it is, this test is created, it's after like 2 decades of research, and 2 decades of research and testing students, and the data that we have on these tests and how the students have performed in these tests. Questions are created in such a way that they follow certain guidelines, and they're created to ensure the child does not have to recall anything from the textbook. It's a no prep test. Child does not have to prepare for ATS test. There is, although there are resources available on our ATS website, please go ahead and have a look. There are certain sample question papers that we have made available. You are welcome to look at that. But over 15 years, and having identified more than 1 lakh students as gifted, with over 1,000 students who have joined and who have benefited from the nurturing programs that we offer. All these students, if you get in touch with, and again, we'll share a link with you if you want to talk to some of our gifted scholars. The students will say the same thing, and that is, these tests do not require preparation. What these questions test is thinking ability. The scenario is given in the question. The question will have the information for the child to absorb. The students only have to read the question and the 4 options that are created. It's an MCQ paper. The 4 options, they have to apply their logical reasoning abilities to eliminate the options. It is a pure logical reasoning based question. So that is the one thing that I wanted to be absolutely clear about upfront, and that is, this is a no preparation test. It's for 3 subjects. If you register for 3 subjects, then the child will have to complete it during the duration of the test, and the duration is 60 minutes per subject. So once the child logs in, starts the test, they have to finish it within the 60 minutes scheduled time. If the test can be taken over the period of the test, that is from Feb 27 till March 1, if you register for this particular, which is why we have opened up rounds for the children now. So upcoming test is on the Feb 21st till March 1. In this window period, the child can log in on any of the days and start the test, end the test. All 3 subject tests can be taken on the same day, or 1 subject per each day. You can also go for that option. It's completely up to you. But once you start the test, you have to finish it within the 60 minutes that is allotted to you. It can be taken from anywhere. It will be online proctored. What you need is a device. It can be, we would prefer, and it has to be taken on a laptop or on a desktop. And as we said, that EIATS is an invite-only test. It can be written by children who have scored 85 percentile and higher in either of the 3 subjects, that is English, Math, and Science. You must have received your acid test results. If not, they are on their way to you. Next 2 days, you'll be getting your EI acid results as well. And students, of course, are invited from non-acid background too, if you have scored 10 and 9 in CAT 4 tests. Now,
Saika, I think at this point we should just jump into parent queries. I see the chat box
Sure.
is completely bursting with
Would
around
you like
a
to,
lot of questions.
send us some
Sure,
questions,
sure.
Pranali? You would take it forward? Yeah.
So I think the first question we have is from Priyanka Unnikrishnan. She's asking if there's an option to select round 3 and round 4. Can you explain what are these both? Like, I think we need to talk about what are these rounds. And is it that my child can opt any of them based on their availability?
Correct. So this is for the parents and child's convenience only, that we have opened up rounds, test rounds for students. So you can either choose round. This is now, it's going to be, the first two rounds are gone, which is why the dates are not here. Just to avoid confusion, I have only kept the upcoming rounds. The third round, that is Feb 27th till March 1. And then you have the fourth round, that is March 27th till 31st March. You can choose either based on your convenience. And the early bird, where you have a choice to choose one of the three subjects, is open till, I'm sorry, there is a typo here. It's actually 7th March. It's not 7th Feb. My apologies for it. It's 7th March is the till such time that, so up until 7th March is the early bird, where you can have an option of choosing one of the three subjects or all three subjects. Post 7th March will be regular registrations, where you have to choose the three subjects, which is something that we recommend. And then post 22nd March is where we will have late registration fee will apply. So to answer the question, you can choose either of the rounds.
Right. Thank you so much, Saika. I think we have again a very similar question. Exams that they need to answer the exams on Feb 27, March 1, and also from March 27 to 31. No, these are the ATS tests this time, for the convenience of the parents and the students, are being conducted in rounds. You can pick any of the rounds as per your convenience, although I would suggest that you take the Feb 27 to March 1 round, simply so that you are also kind of getting the early bird benefit. And we would definitely suggest not to cut it so close to the March 27 to 31 round, because in case if there is some logistical issue at that time, then you will not be able to take the EI Asset Talent Search test again, because March 27 to March 31 is the last round for EI ATS UAE this year. Second, we have another question again on the rounds. I think we have a question on whether the test needs to be taken from a fixed physical location. No, the EI Asset Talent Search can be taken online from anywhere. All you need is a laptop that has webcam and a stable network connectivity, and your child will be able to take the test. We would recommend that the child takes the test from a laptop. The EI Asset Talent the EI ATS test is not compatible on mobile phones or on tablets. So best if it's a desktop with a webcam, or if it's a laptop with a camera. Okay, Saika, this question is, you can take the exam on any one day or one subject per day. How does it work? Also, does the EI ATS test the kids for 2 levels higher topics, and how can they prepare?
Right. So one is, they can, if you're going for all three subjects, you can take the test. The child can appear for all three subjects on the same day, or during the window period of the test. That is, math, they can take on day 1, science day 2, English day 3. It's completely up to them. The only restriction is, once you log in and start the test, you have to finish it within the 60 minutes allotted. Otherwise, it's up to you. You can, and the child can take breaks as well. If you choose to give all three tests on the same day, finish your test, take some break, and then log into for your other test that you have chosen. So I hope that answers your question. Now let's talk about no prep test. I will give you an example. For example, if the child gets a question in science, and that question is dependent on pre-existing knowledge of, or recall from the textbook of a particular definition, the definition will be given over there. It will be part of the question, which is why we say it's best to use a desktop or a laptop to give these tests. The information is given in the question. The child only needs to read it carefully. And again, these are gifted children. They have already appeared for the acid test, and they have done exceptionally well in the acid test. So you cannot take that point away from them. And we have seen that children with high abilities, once they look at the question, they start engaging with it. and they don't feel lost because the information they require to answer the question is there in the question itself. They only need to read it carefully, apply logic, and answer the question. So if it's, for example, a math question on based on pattern, so these are the kind of skills that are checked: data interpretation, pattern recognition, map reading. Can you just read it and answer the question? For example, map reading can come in English as part of, say, a comprehension. A map can be given, a comprehension question can be asked based on that passage. So it's about reading the question properly, carefully, and answering the question. I have seen students take ATS test live in person. I just wanted to observe. And a class 5 child was taking a class 7 question, and he was breezing through it. And by the way, the child was a child of low visibility. The child had and they came to our office to give the test, and I was reading the question out to the child. A low visibility child was a because child was identified as gifted, had done exceptionally well in ACIT, and they took all 3 subjects, and halfway through the question the child knew the answer. So this is the spark that we are talking about, and this is why. And sometimes, the child was smiling through the test because he knew that you don't have to read the entire thing. I know what the answer is right now. So
Thank
the
you so
only
much.
thing is
Yeah.
that they have to read the question very carefully.
I think this is a very important point to address because we have quite a few questions on preparation. So
Hmm.
thank you, Saika, for that. I think we also have a lot of questions on where the test will be conducted. We have a couple of questions on whether the test will be conducted in school. So no, I would like to clarify that the yes, EI asset test is conducted in school, but because this is an invite only test for a very specific group of students who have performed really well in asset, this is not a standard test like EI asset, right? Everybody in the class is not taking it. So the EI asset talent search test can, again, I'm reiterating, can be taken from anywhere as long as, because it will be conducted online. We will have online proctors who will be there. So the test will be conducted online. You need laptop, desktop with a functioning webcam and stable network connectivity. Again, we have a question on the timing of the test. So the test can be taken anytime from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. across the test dates. Uh, I'll just move on to the next questions. Okay, how does taking this test help my child? Is the certificate recognized and what can he use it for? So I'll
That's
just
a good.
answer a bit about it. I'll take the second half and then I think we can move on to how ATS itself helps children. So I think, and Saika, feel free to add. So EI asset talent search is not like an entrance test. I mean, of course, in some ways it is because you do get access to Johns Hopkins and UC Berkeley and Purdue, where they accept EI asset talent search scores to give your child, to kind of allow your child to attend the programs offered by these global partners. But I think the most important part of EI asset talent search is to identify if your child is gifted, because a child who is not gifted will be absolutely fine going through school, but a child who is gifted, they will have needs that go beyond the scope of standard academics, right? They will have more questions, they will want to know more about everything, they will want a certain kind of tribe, like Saika mentioned, to thrive. So yes, of course, you're not like there's no harm in not taking the EI ATS test for your child, but of course there is a potential that is lost. They could have been one of global pioneers, maybe inventing something that maybe like cures one of our major diseases. That is what you're taking away by not letting them take the EI as a talent search test, because they would thrive in that tribe. They would thrive if they were taking programs that were specifically designed by domain experts for gifted students. So that is the importance of taking the EI as a talent search test.
I think it'll sound a little philosophical, but I think I want to use this corollary here, that the comparison with an unpolished diamond to a polished diamond. The raw ability, the raw capacity is already there. The polishing is what is required. And the polishing can only be done once you identify the child as a gifted child. And because I have teaching experience of more than a decade, and I have seen that that potential, it fizzles out. Once the child hits class 9 and that board pressure comes on their heads, and that talent, that spark, it just fizzles out. Parents are happy with that. Oh, my child is the top 3 rankers. I'm very happy and satisfied. I'm sorry to say the child could have done so much more. So talent and giftedness does not mean the child is going to be 100% scorer in an exam. What it means is the child may be amazing in one of the subjects and not doing well in math, but brilliant at English, brilliant at science, but may not be performing well in English. So this is about the child's interest and keeping that interest alive till such time that they are able to actually go for it professionally, academically in higher classes. So identification, polishing, and nurturing is extremely important for gifted children. And it's for the parents only that we say that let your child at least be identified, because it will be there in your head that yes, my child is gifted, I need to do more for these children. And it becomes a responsibility as educators and parents to actually do more for our children. Now, second part, what does that do? And I'll just reiterate what Swarnali said. These gifted programs being offered by global partners, these universities, they have an eligibility criteria. One of the eligibility criteria is an ATS test and scoring 95 or 94 and higher. Top scoring children, the top 1 to 2% scorers in ATS, they get invited to these global programs, nurturing programs. So even those programs have a criteria, and one of the eligibility is EI ATS test scores. Now, having said that, I want to say it does not mean the child gets admitted to that university. That's not what it does. What it does is, if the child goes forward and if you register for these courses in these global universities, what they do is they create a network and contacts of the right people at the right places that they can bank on in the future, that they can approach with in the future, because it will be there. The certificate they will have that the child is a gifted child, identified by a scientifically designed test, that is EIATS. And not only that, the child was part of the gifted program of Johns Hopkins University. That opens a lot of doors. So this is just a way to open doors for our children. EIATS opens those doors for our children. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much, Saika. I think, again, thank you so much, parents, for asking your questions. It's great to have you engage with us. We have another question. My child was identified in the top 15 percentile last year in 2025 by ATS and gave ACET exams. This year in 2026, I think the child has qualified again. So
congratulations.
I think they're asking if the ACET PAN will be different.
If there are 2 ACET PANs, you can log in and take the test with either of these PANs. If you have a new PAN, it's absolutely fine. Register for the test. We will send you the information. The child can log in using either of the PANs, and the access key, that is the password, is what we generate and send. So you don't have to worry about that. That information will be sent to you closer to the test. You can use either of the PAN IDs to log into the test and register. Now, as far as maybe some parents are asking about the EIATS qualifier certificate, for some technical reasons, that particular link is not working right now, but this is what the team is working on today. Hopefully that problem will be fixed soon. But if you have received the email, go ahead and you can register using any of the PAN IDs.
And then we have question about when will the actual exam start. So the exam is already ongoing. We have already conducted 2 rounds of the EI ACET Talent Search test. We have 1 round that's upcoming from March 27 to from Feb 27 to March 1. And then again, we have the 4th round. Saika, if you can help with the details for that.
No, I'll show the parents the slide so it's clearer to them. Right. The upcoming rounds are from Feb 27 to March 1. The next round is from March 27 till March 31st. That is a 5-day window period. Please go ahead. You can choose either of these rounds. I would suggest, though, if you want to go for more than 1 subjects, I would suggest to choose one round and close it instead of choosing a combination of both rounds. I think it's more convenient for the child to take the test across one window period. That is either in the Feb 27 till March 1 or March 27 till March 31st.
Right. We actually have a very interesting question from a parent. He's asking, what is the syllabus and prerequisite for this exam? My son is already a genius. So now what can
Amazing.
I do?
Congratulations.
So congratulations, really,
Yes.
congratulations from the both of us.
Yeah.
And that's great if your child is already a genius. So then I would suggest you, the EI Asset Talent Search then becomes one, a way for you to formally identify him as a gifted student. And second, then it opens doors for your genius son to go on to Johns Hopkins, go on to UC Berkeley, go on to Purdue, wherever. Because then the EI Asset Talent Search is not just a test to identify giftedness, it is also a gateway to talent nurturing programs from the global pioneers of giftedness. Right? So because if you look at Johns Hopkins and Northwestern, these are the pioneers where research on giftedness has happened. So definitely, I think if your son is a genius, they deserve to go on to these global platforms and then become a leader. So yes, anything else you want to add, Saka?
So, and again, I'll say congratulations, sir. And I like the fact that you are already aware your child is a genius child, and which is why you've been invited to this webinar. It'll be great if you can let your child explore the EI ATS test, because it will be a 2-level above test. So in which class, I mean, if whatever class they are in currently, the child will be given a 2-level up test. So if they are in class 7, then they will be given a class 9 test. So it'll be an amazing challenge for the child to go through these questions. That's point one. That in itself is an engagement for the child. Once that is done, and if you go and once they score in the top 2%, then they will be invited for talent nurturing programs, which I think I would encourage parents here to send their children for, and see your child blossom once they find the tribe, once they find the cohort of like-minded children. So that is my suggestion. And furthermore, preparation for EI ATS is not required. EI ATS, the questions are designed in such a way, they are scientifically designed questions, they follow a guideline that removes the need to prepare something and come for the test. We have been doing this for 15 years and we have seen amazing results year after year after year.
Thank you so much. I think the next question is about the pricing for the subjects. So like it's displayed on the screen. If you register before 7th of March, for one subject, it's 170 AED. For two subjects, it's 210 AED. For three subjects, it's 230 AED. But this is only till 7th of March because this is the early bird benefit. After that, you do not have the option of choosing a subject. So the test will be 250 AED for three subjects. And I think there is a late registration. Of course, we would definitely not encourage you to wait till that period, because you can also see that the price of the test increases because we have to arrange for proctors, right? So then the price then becomes 300 AED. Thank you so much.
Not just those reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there are a couple of questions on Asset Pan. So I will try to help out with whatever I know, and then Saka can pitch in. So for your Asset Pan, you have to check the first page of your student My Book. It is not a common pan for every child. You have a unique student pan which will be on the first page of your student My Book. Anything else, Saka, that they can do?
Please connect with the school coordinator. They will have the asset pan with them. The results, as far as I know, the results are being sent out as of now to the UAE parents and schools, and the asset pan will be available on the student My Book and the results. Furthermore, please visit our website, send us information, and we'll send you the asset pan of the children. Not only that, we are sending out letters and emails to parents with the asset pan and student ID of your children. So you just have to wait for some time. Either by today or tomorrow, you will receive those.
So my son there's another query. My son has got the message for scoring 85%. How do I check which subject and if he can take the exam in March instead of Feb?
Yes, they can absolutely take the test in March. You can register today and choose the 4th round, that is the March round. And as far as the the subject is concerned, great that they have scored 85, and congratulations. 85% and higher is a moment to celebrate the child's abilities in that particular subject. As I said, the asset results are being sent out as of now. Right at this moment, they are being sent out, and the parents will be receiving the results within the next 2 days. So, yeah, the results of the child will be, you'll be getting either from the school or via email from us online. Yeah.
We have another question. I got a message that my child has qualified. Currently, my daughter is in grade 4. May I know if
Mhm.
this is based on 2024 to 2025 asset results or previous year?
So it'll be either 24-25 or 25-26, regardless of whether it was, so they can asset
I think if the
scores.
child is in grade 4, they can only qualify for EI asset talent search based on 24 to 25 asset results.
Hmm.
Because grade 4 is when the child becomes, like, if you're moving from grade 3 to 4, that's when you become eligible for the EI asset
Yeah.
talent search test.
Yeah. And as I was, this important to remember that asset scores are eligible for 2 years. You can take the ATS test in both years.
My kid has exams during 27th Feb to March 1. How will it be managed? So in that case, you can definitely go for the last round of EI as a talent search, which is, I would like to repeat the date, which is again from March 27, right?
27th March,
March
27 March
20.
till 31st
Okay,
March.
okay. Thank you so much.
The
I
fine
hope
part.
this is solved. I have a doubt. Can we pay early but choose round 4? Definitely, you can register for the EI Asset Talent Search. That way, you are eligible for the early bird benefit, but you can take the test in the 4th round as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Is it mandatory to attend all subjects or can I choose? I mean, of course, if you register for the EI Asset Talent Search before 7th of March, you can choose between all 3 subjects. But our recommendation would be to attend for all 3 subjects and not just one, because then it kind of broadens the scope of your child becoming a topper, right? Like, for example, if your child is taking the test for English, math, and science, let's say if they're not doing well in English and science, but they're doing really well in math, they are still an ATS scholar and they can
Yes.
still apply for these programs. However,
Yeah.
if your child is only taking science and not scoring in the top 15 percentile, then that kind of just closes doors for them, right? So we wouldn't want that to happen. So just to kind of ensure that your child has the maximum chance of coming in the top 15 percentile, our recommendation would be to take the EI ATS test for all 3 subjects. Can the child register for EI ATS search right now for 2 subjects? Yes, like I previously mentioned, they can register for the test anytime before March 7th for 2 subjects. We didn't get the results yet. How can we come to know in which subject the child has done well to continue with the registration?
You'll be getting the results today or definitely by tomorrow. And based on that, you can choose your subjects.
What is asset pan? I think we've cleared that, but just again, asset pan is basically your student's unique ID that is mentioned on the first page of the student my book. It is very important that you have the asset pan because you'll be needing that to register for the EI asset talent search test. If you can't find it, you can feel free to write to us. My colleague has already shared our email IDs on chat.
Yeah.
We are unable to download the result or access it.
Yeah. As I said, that there's a bit of a technical issue with the link on the download link for the certificate. We are working on it today. It'll be fixed today itself.
Very interesting question. Does the program include courses for visual arts like drawing and painting? So most of these courses, whether it's from GenWise or Johns Hopkins, focus on academics, but that does not mean that the entire time your child is there, they'll only be studying. I mean, before we started the webinar, there are a lot of videos where you can see what the gifted students do in these programs, right? And that includes singing, that includes dancing, that includes painting, drawing. So yes, we understand that gifted students need a creative outlet as well. While that is not one of the subjects that they are taught by domain experts in the gifted programs, there is enough scope for them to have that creative outlet, whether it is on visual arts and whatever, performing arts, whatever. So all of that is covered in the gifted programs that is offered by our partners. Uh, so whether every year asset pan number will be different or will it
No,
be the
not
same?
necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily. Asset pan only changes if there is a change in school or if there's a change in name, which rarely happens, but we have seen sometimes middle name gets added when when the school sends the information. So a new asset pan is allotted to the child, but it does not change every year.
Right. We have Mohammed Ryan with us, who is a student of fifth grade, and
Mm.
it's his first time being qualified in 15%. And he's
Congratulations,
asking, what should I
Ryan.
do? So, yeah. Congratulations, Mohammed. Congratulations from the both of us. Saika, do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, hi, Mohammed, and congratulations that you have qualified for the ATS test. I would suggest that I hope your parents are here. So my request would be to first of all keep the spark alive, read more books, study well. Also, you can register for the ATS test. The links are in the chat box. If you click on there's a word there on the screen, chat. If you click on that, you will be getting some links over there. If you click on the link, it'll take you to the EI website, the EI ATS website, and all the information that you need is there. Register for the test and then the subject of your choice and your interest, and all the best.
Um, so there is another question. Can we write this test in school?
The test can be taken by the students from the comfort of their home, or the test is not taken in the school. Only acid test is conducted in the school. ATS test can be taken between 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So it's just so that you give the test at wherever you are comfortable at. So yeah.
So, I think this is so just I'm adding to that is that if you want to take the test from school because you don't have a system at home, then I think that can definitely be arranged. You can talk to your school faculty and ask them to arrange a desktop
Yeah,
or a
good point.
laptop, and then you can take the test from school as well.
Good point.
um My child is in class 7, from where he can prep now. Like we mentioned earlier, the EI Asset Talent Search is a no preparation test. Your child will basically be asked questions on whatever they already know. It's on conceptual understanding. So, however, if you want to acclimatize yourself with the kind of questions that will be asked in the EI Asset Talent Search, my colleague will share the link to AQAD, which is an asset question a day, and you can log into that platform and just see the kind of questions that your child will be asked.
There's also a resource page on the ATS website. If you go there, navigate, there's a resource page on the ATS website where you can go through. We have some sample questions over there if you want to use that outlet as well.
Can we pay the fees for the school for the test in school, or is it online
This is
for?
online. Yeah, this is online. And I suggest that you click on register and do the payment online. This is not something that is connected to the school. EI acid test is, but for ATS, it's the parent's choice. Go ahead, use the online payment system.
We have a question asking, what is a student my book and how do I get it?
So for student, my book is something that you will have to connect with the school coordinators.
It is
It
basically
just
a student report that you will get from the school that has your asset result. It is nothing more than that. It's just a report that your school will give you on how your child has done in asset result. And I'm guessing this is in response to looking for the asset pan because we earlier mentioned that. So in the student report itself, on the first page, you can find the asset pan for your child. Is the GenWise talent nurturing program for students who score in the top 15 percentile of EI ATS, or for students who score in, or for students I think who register for EI ATS?
it's for the medalists. The talent nurturing program is for the class 7 and 8 toppers of ATS. The gifted online community is for all ATS qualifiers. It's connected to
So
GenWise.
correct. So for the summer programs that are offered by GenWise, essentially just repeating what Saika said, you have to score in the top 15 percentile in EI ATS. However, if you qualify for EI ATS, which you have, which is why you're here, the Gifted World community is open to you. You can log into Gifted World community. They have weekly sessions. They have a very strong parent community as well and a student community. So that is something that you can definitely join right away. Uh, Yeah, I think we are done. Yeah, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Okay, I think just one last question. I think we'll just quickly address this before closing. What are all the online course options for EI ATS medalists?
I didn't get that. Sorry, can you please repeat that?
What are all the online courses for EI ATS toppers?
Right. So, if you again, so a lot of information is available on the ATS website. For GenWise online programs, again, the information is available on GenWise website is genwise.in. Online programs, the courses, again, as I had showed in an earlier slide, they are very much, first of all, um, relevant to the current uh, the fields of the upcoming fields and the existing fields that are of importance in the world, like neurosciences, generative AI, coding, as I said, public policy, economics. There are various topics available and courses available on these topics online, and which and really suggest encourage parents to go and explore these.
Uh,
I can, yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
we're actually
Pranali.
getting more questions. So,
Hmm.
another question from a parent: how is creativity evaluated through EI ATS test? So, my take on this would be that because we already mentioned that the your child is tested in EI ATS 2 grades above their current grade, right? So we will be evaluating creativity based on how they can think of innovative ways, creative ways to solve problems that a class 9 person would automatically know because they've studied it in a book, right? And because these are questions on concepts that that your child already is aware of, we want to see the approach they take to solve these problems. Saika, you can please go ahead and add.
So yeah, also these are first of all, I think one wanted to clarify this. EI Asset Talent Search is it checks academic giftedness. So that is one important aspect of the test and the entire program. EI Asset Talent Search, it checks academic giftedness. Children who are gifted, they show interest and they show um, abilities and creativity in various fields. Performing arts, visual arts, they show creativity in coming up with, as Sonali said, novel solutions to problems. And so the ATS test is designed to check academic giftedness. Having said that, I'll again reiterate what Sonali said earlier, which I really actually like the response that she gave, and that was once a child is identified as a gifted child, they and they participate in the nurturing programs, the either online or offline, then their creativity too is is celebrated, and it is not assessed, but it is actually encouraged in the various activities that are organized by their mentors. So they are engaged both in academic programs as well as the academic, I mean, the non-academic creative outlets, and that is dance or art or whatever the interest your child has. So they are engaged in both ways. But how creativity is assessed is quite a broad, and we can have another entire webinar on that topic, which is actually a very good question. But here I just wanted to clarify it's an academic test to check academic potential.
Right, right. I think we have quite a few questions on results. There are parents who are saying we're very eager to register, but we don't have the asset pan. Like Saika said, the results are being processed as we speak, and you will be getting them in the next 2-3 days. One last question, because I just found it very interesting. Saika, this is for you. I'm in grade 4, and this is my first time being qualified. And
Mhm.
what specific skills or thinking abilities to basically come in the top 2% students? And how can
Okay.
I start developing them from now?
Thank you so much. Is the name given there of the child?
Yes, it's Mohammed Saqib.
Mohammed Saki, congratulations for having achieved the amazing. I mean, it's achieving well in acid test in itself is it's something a cause for celebration, because 85 percentile and higher, scoring that in the acid test is a big achievement. So congratulations. Secondly,
Just
the same
interrupting because he's
abilities.
corrected us, Saika. He said, my
Uh,
dad's name is Mohammed. My
Mohammed
name is actually Hania.
Hania. Hi, Hania. I love your name. So, Hania, the abilities and the thinking abilities that you used to attempt the acid test, the same abilities we want you to apply when you are taking the ATS test. So, think of it this way. If you're in class 4, Hania, and you gave the test for class 4, you will get this acid test of class 6. ATS is actually acid test, but 2 grades higher. So the abilities you use, the skills you used to attempt the acid test that was given to you and score so well, the same thinking skills you have to bring to the ATS test. That's all that you need, Anya. Read the question well, think about it, and then go for the correct answer that you think is correct. That's all you need. Logical thinking skills.
All right. I think, okay, one more. Okay. I think we can close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you so much for being so engaging. It was amazing answering your questions. Just wanted to say that celebrating our children, I mean, the prizes for toppers, wanted to come to this slide as well. You do have exciting prizes in store for you once you top the ATS test. And just wanted to say thank you so much for being with us for this webinar and asking so many amazing questions. I hope we were able to answer your questions to the best of, I mean, we tried to the best of our abilities. If you have any other queries, please send us your queries in through the website. I look at the questions myself. You can reach out to us through the links that are being shared with you right now. And we will try to, please write to us at eitalentsearch@ei.study, and we will answer your queries. So we are here for you. We are here to answer your questions, and do please scan this QR code on the screen. Give us feedback. We would love to have your feedback as to how we can improve these sessions going forward. The 2 test rounds are still available and open for all the students here. Upcoming round is from the 27th of Feb till March 1, and the last round, of course, is from 27th March till 31st March. So thank you so much, parents, educators, and students, and Hania for being here, and congratulations and all the best for the test.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.